Beyond the Deck presents Guide to Temperance. Temperance is the 15th card in the major arcana of a tarot deck. It is typically illustrated as a serene angel, often standing with one foot on land and one in water, pouring water between two cups beneath a clear sky. Around it, flowers bloom. A pathway stretches onward, and distant mountains glow with quiet promise. This card represents balance, harmony, and the integration that emerges through patient moderation. Symbols often include the angelic figure, guidance, and inner alignment. The flowing water, emotional balance and continuous exchange, the two cups, blending opposites, and the path leading toward the horizon. Progress. Together, they portray the art of synthesis, spirit and matter, feeling and reason, movement and stillness. The card evokes a sense of calm rather than passivity, a sacred balance between effort and surrender. Progress here comes not through force, but through measured action and trust in the rhythm of unfolding. Temperance reminds us that harmony is rarely instant, yet it is always cultivated. Temperance embodies balance, healing, and graceful integration, inviting patience to unite opposing forces, trust in steady transformation, and faith that every mindful adjustment carries within it the quiet power to restore peace and create wholeness. Balance Temperance stands as the sacred art of balance, the harmony that brings opposing forces into a union. It is not the balance of stillness or restraint, but of integration, the profound intelligence of spirit that knows how to blend extremes while honoring each. Here we are reminded that not all growth comes through effort, that some healing unfolds only through patience. Temperance does not force nor divide. It harmonizes, allowing emotion and reason, action and rest, to meet with grace, reshaping the soul through measured awareness rather than excess. Its sacred essence lives in the understanding that balance is created, that harmony is born through adjustment, and that wholeness emerges when each part is given its rightful place. Even in tension there is wisdom, and in moderation, an invitation to become complete. Temperance is the steady rhythm of the journey, the balance that restores becoming. It is the reminder that patience makes way for healing, that harmony creates strength, and that every careful blending is not a compromise, but a passage into deeper wholeness within the eternal flow of life. Well, healing. Healing is the quiet harmony of balance, the gentle restoration that begins when opposing forces are brought together. It is not sudden or dramatic, but subtle and steady, as life regains its natural rhythm. Temperance teaches that healing is rarely loud or immediate. It arrives so softly as body, mind, emotion, and spirit slowly learn to flow together. It asks for patience and trust, teaching that wholeness comes through integration, not force. There is tenderness in healing. It unfolds through moderation, reflection, and care, the easing of tension, the return of peace. At its core, temperance carries a simple truth. Balance creates the space where renewal can begin. Nothing needs to be forced. It can be blended, inviting the soul to become whole again, wiser and more aligned within the rhythm of life. Graceful integration. Graceful integration is the harmonizing that occurs within the soul, where opposing forces learn to meet without losing themselves. It is not a moment, but a process, gentle, patient, and restorative. This is the kind of healing that brings emotion, reason, spirit, and action into meaningful relationship. It does not demand perfection, nor does it erase difference. Temperance asks for balance, for trust in gradual adjustment, and for the wisdom to blend each part with care. It unfolds with moderation through listening and through spaces where extremes begin to soften. Within that balance, something essential is being restored. When graceful integration completes its work, What emerges is not a compromise between opposing sides, but a fuller expression of being, centered, renewed, and ready to move with greater harmony within the rhythm of becoming. Temperance speaks to the quiet rhythm of balance, the gentle harmonizing that arises through patience, moderation, and conscious integration. It reminds us that life is not always asking us to choose between opposites, but sometimes to bring them together in a way that honors both. This card teaches that harmony does not come through force, but through adjustment, through trusting that healing unfolds gradually and that wholeness emerges when extremes begin to soften. Temperance blends rather than divides, offering wisdom through patience, awareness, and measured action. To walk with temperance is to choose balance over excess, to recognize that not all progress needs to be hurried, and that growth often deepens through steady refinement. It is an invitation to unite emotion with reason, action with rest, and the earthly self with the spiritual. Through this integration, life settles and purpose clarifies, each adjustment restoring harmony, each conscious blending drawing us closer to the deeper truth of who we are becoming. Keywords. Upright keywords: balance, harmony, moderation, patience, healing, integration, cooperation, compromise, calm, inner peace, emotional stability, self-control, purpose, alignment, adaptability, steady progress, divine timing, blending opposites, finding the middle path. Reversed keywords: imbalance, excess, impatience, disharmony, conflict, instability, overindulgence, poor judgment, lack of moderation, disconnection. Meanings of symbols and colors on temperance. 1. Angel, divine guidance, protection, healing, and the higher self bringing harmony into life. 2. 1 foot on land and 1 in water. Balance between the practical and emotional worlds, the conscious and subconscious, and spirit and matter. 3. 2 cups. Opposing energies are different parts of life being blended together. They represent cooperation, adjustment, and integration. 4. Water flowing between the cups. The continuous exchange of energy. It suggests adaptability, patience, and creating something new by combining opposites. 5. Path toward the mountains. The gradual spiritual journey. Progress is achieved through patience, balance, and steady effort. 6. Red wings. Passion, life force, courage, and spiritual energy directed with control rather than excess. White. Purity, peace, healing, clarity, and spiritual awareness. Red. Passion, life force, courage, and powerful energy brought under control. Yellow or gold. Enlightenment, hope, confidence, divine guidance, and higher purpose. Blue. Calmness, intuition, emotional balance, wisdom, and spiritual understanding. Temperance is a powerful symbol of balance, healing, and graceful integration. Its meaningful colors and symbols weave together to express harmony, moderation, and the wisdom that arises through patience and conscious adjustment itself. It speaks to the art of balance as both teacher and guiding principle, offering insight through integration and creating a foundation of calm, alignment, and deeper wholeness, with the self and the unfolding path revealed through harmony itself. Temperance, when drawn upright in a tarot reading, embodies the essence of balance, healing, and graceful integration. It represents harmony, patience, and the inner alignment that occurs when we bring opposing energies together with care and understanding. This card encourages moderation and self-awareness, suggesting that now is a time to avoid extremes. to create greater balance between different areas of life, and to allow healing to unfold through patience rather than force. In addition, temperance signifies cooperation, steady progress, and the quiet strength that comes from emotional and spiritual balance. It reminds us that harmony is not weakness, and that lasting growth often develops through small adjustments, thoughtful choices, and consistent care. When this card appears, it often indicates a period of restoration, an invitation to slow down, trust the process, and blend the different parts of yourself or your situation, knowing that patience and balance are guiding you towards greater wholeness and the next stage of your unfolding path. Temperance, when drawn in reverse, speaks to imbalance, excess, impatience, or difficulty bringing opposing forces into harmony. It suggests emotional instability, poor moderation, or inner conflict that continues because balance has been lost, often arising from stress, overindulgence, or trying to force progress before the time is right. This reversal draws attention to where extremes may be disrupting healing. It highlights moments where emotions overwhelm reason, where different areas of life compete for attention, or where compromise feels impossible, creating tension instead of integration. It may point to a time when progress feels inconsistent or exhausting, when patience is running thin and inner peace feels out of reach. Yet beneath this discomfort lies an important message. Harmony can be restored, but healing requires honest adjustment. Reversed temperance invites thoughtful self-inquiry, to notice where you are living in extremes, to soften impulsive reactions, and to reclaim moderation as an act of self-care. It reminds you that life begins to flow again when you bring scattered energies back into balance, creating space for healing, clarity, and steady forward movement on your path. Journal questions that can help you learn and understand the Death card more deeply. What are the main symbols and images on this card, and what do they represent? Analyzing the card's imagery can help you grasp its underlying themes and messages. Look for colors, objects, and figures, and research their traditional meanings in tarot. What is the traditional meaning of this card in a reading? Understanding the card's conventional interpretation can provide a foundation for its use in readings. This includes both upright and reversed meanings if applicable. How does this card relate to the other cards in its suit or major arcana? Identifying the card's position within the larger structure of the tarot deck can offer insight into its role and significance. Compare it to other cards in its suit or sequence. What are some common themes or life situations this card might represent? Reflect on how the card's meaning can be applied to real-life scenarios. This helps in connecting the card to personal experiences and readings. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Find us on Facebook.